unless he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. Order 51. Notice shall not be dispensed with in the case of a motion or in respect of any other proceeding for which notice is required, except with the consent of the President of the Senate and the general assent of the senators present. Mr. President, this motion is a motion of a matter of urgent public importance about a collapsed flyover bridge on the highway of Enugu to Port Harcourt Expressway. This is the road that conveys major people from parts of Ebonyi, even part of the north, and Enugu to Port Harcourt Expressway, which tragically collapsed. Fortunately, no life was lost. But as it is today, the road is...
You have not, you read, except with the consent of the hallowed chamber. Are you seeking the consent of the hallowed chamber and that of the Senate President, or are you moving your motion?
Distinguished Senate President, to go ahead and present the motion. This motion is sponsored by me and co-sponsored by Senator Victor May, Senator Kelvin Chukwu, and Senator Okechukwu Ezier. Note that on Monday, 25th September 2023, a major flyover bridge on the Enugu part of the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway tragically collapsed, but thankfully without human casualty. Also note that the bridge, which is a major link along the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway for commuters from Port Harcourt, Abao, Mahia, and Abakaliki, also provide access to vehicular traffic from Onitsha to Enugu Expressway. Saddened that the current road infrastructure maintenance model is not proactive, as early signs of the collapse will have been detected for immediate repairs before the eventual tragic collapse. Aware that the temporary diversion of vehicular traffic into the city center will only go to worsen the already precarious traffic situation in the city. Also worried that the collapse of this important flyover bridge has become a nightmare to road users and a threat to the socio-economic life of the people. I am concerned that any delay in the rehabilitation of this critical public infrastructure may worsen the already precarious socio-economic challenges of not just Enugu State, but the entire Southeast Zone. Accordingly, resolves as follows. The urge the federal government through the Ministry of Works to embark on the immediate reconstruction of the collapsed bridge at the Enugu end of the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway. Further urge the federal government to provide urgent intervention fund to the Ministry of Works for the rehabilitation of this bridge and maintenance of all other critical road infrastructure in the country, given that the construction window, which is the dry season, is just by the corner. I so move, Mr. President. Thank you.
Any seconder? Yes, distinguished Senator.
President and distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Kelvin Chukwu, representing the good people of Enugu East Senatorial Zone. I stood up here to second the motion ably moved by Senator Ostangu. I so moved.
Yes. Distinguished Senator.
On the collapsed bridge at Enugu is a strategic infrastructure serving not only the Southeast and South-South, but the entire Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to say, for those who don't know the location, This bridge traverses the Enugu-Port Harcourt Express Way. And so, all the petroleum products coming from Port Harcourt, all the fertilizer coming from Port Harcourt to the northern part of the country will not move without this bridge being fixed. It is also important to know that all the food, major food we eat in the southeast and south-south pass through this bridge. And so economic activities are seriously affected by the collapse of this bridge. And I therefore urge my colleagues here to support this motion so that the federal government will move in as a matter of urgency to fix this bridge and in the process also fix the entire Enugu-Port Harcourt Express Road. Thank you, Mr. President.
Very distinguished colleague, let me sympathize and commend the mover of this motion on the collapsed bridge that takes care of Enugu-Port Harcourt corridor. Mr. President, if you will recollect that in this Senate, a lot of motion has come before us that borders on roads, infrastructures, bridges, and so on and so forth. This is another major infrastructural challenges in this corridor. And Mr. President, my own suggestion would be that all these roads and bridges which we are bringing to the table, we don't know the extent in which the executives are aware, because the preparation for 2024 appropriation bill is underway. And if projects like this, as sensitive as these, are not captured, at the end of the day, we will only come here, move this motion, and nothing will be done. So my own candid suggestion is that all these roads and bridges that distinguished senators has brought before us, before this Senate, should be put into a compendium, that we have the list, so that when the executive appear before us, especially the Minister for Works and Infrastructure, we cannot compare notes. If all these roads, bridges, collapse, and everything have been captured in the budget, and if not, we can go into a discussion with them and tell them how critical these roads and bridges are to the senatorial district or the corridor in which that is affected. Mr. President, distinguished colleague, if, okay, what's the other guy? That. Yes, if, like Dr. Yaya's committee, what they are currently doing, if this is not captured in it, then we will not be helping ourselves here. Because if they should raise such an important motion, a collapse of bridges that takes care of all products coming from Port Harcourt to Enugu and beyond as collapse, then we don't come here and just give this motion and it will be in vain. So I want to suggest that they should be referred to Dr. Yaya's committee so that this can be part of the compendium we are trying to build, so that by the time the Appropriation Act lands, a bill lands in the Senate, we can compare notes and ensure that all these bridges and roads are adequately captured in the budget before it's eventually passed into law by the Senate. I so submit.
And all those who have made contributions, I think this is a very straightforward motion still. So we go into the prayers. Urge the federal government through the Ministry of Works. Urge the federal government through the Ministry of Works to embark on the immediate reconstruction of the collapsed bridge at the Enugu end of the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway. Those in support of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. Senator Babangida, you want to amend the prayer?
Thank you. 2022 as amended. If we look at item number 25 on the formation and functions of committees, the Committee on FEMA is charged with the responsibility.
Any seconder to the amendment? Yes, distinguished Senator Zango Dara.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to second the amendment of the motion as moved by Senator Babangida.
Prayer 1 should read that we should urge the Federal Emergency Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, to immediately embark on a remedial measure on this collapsed bridge, and it has been seconded. Those who are in support of this prayer as amended say aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 2, urge the federal government to provide urgent intervention fund. Those who are in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those who are against it say nay. Well, the ayes have it. Let me thank additional prayers. The Enugu Urban Center, Enugu Central, should immediately add this road in writing to the and refer it to the committee that is handling the ad hoc committee that is handling the compilation of all collapsed infrastructure in Nigeria. Those who are in support of this additional prayer say aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. So let me thank distinguished Senator Ositangu for bringing this matter of urgent national importance. There is no need to go into any further discussion on the importance of that route to the economic lifeline of the entirety of both South, South, and Southeast, and Nigeria in general. So I hope that once we communicate with the necessary authorities, that remedial work will be done on this, whilst reconstruction should commence in the next budget session. Thank you for your contributions.